Greetings, gentlemen. Welcome to the D-Class Training VHS tape. In this section, we'll be moving over all of the function and role you have in this program. We shall begin, shall we? Now, you may wonder to yourself who you are or what to expect from your role in the D-Class program. To put it simply, your daily job is completing numerous tasks given by the researcher personnel for experimenting on SCP objects to see how they react. Now, what is the purpose of the D-Class program? We understand that you, as D-Class personnel, are not merely test subjects but individuals with unique strengths and potential. Tasks that may be impossible for researchers are often within your grasp, and for that reason, we are dedicated to supporting you. We provide the liberty and the rights that empower you, offer rewards to recognize your participation in experiments and tasks, and encourage your active cooperation with our staff. Through this program, you're not just serving the foundation, you are leading the way towards a greater good.
We move on to the D-Class character creation. After being accepted into the D-Class program, you're given the instructions of creating a character in order to deploy. Now there's two steps, which are your codename and your morph. We will start with the codename first. Making a codename is by far the easiest step. All you have to do is find a name for your character and a designation number as well. The rules are simple. Your codename cannot be too short or inappropriate. The numbers you choose cannot be a duplicate of another's or be longer than 8 digits. Anything shorter than 3 is also not allowed. Now for the morph. Let's start with the two simple ones. Jumpsuit and open jumpsuit. Both are exactly the same, so all you have to focus on are your accessories. There's a numerous amount of accessories you're allowed to have, such as hair, hats, perhaps a small bag. Along with this, you may also use the SCP-RP scaling system from 0.95 to 1.05. For our limitations, you unfortunately are not allowed to have anything that is too unrealistic for inmates or in general. Examples of such are anime faces, keycards, fedoras, etc. Included with this, unrealistic skin tones are also not allowed. Examples are pure white, straight up pink, purple, or magenta. Moving on from the jumpsuits, you also have the ability to wear a tank top instead. The accessory rules are exactly the same. The only difference is the shirt itself. With the freedom you're given, you can choose various clothings that range from muscles to tattoos. The only exception for this is you may not look too goofy. Finally, you can save your morph after you've done all the adjustments needed. All you have to do for this is to post it in the morph storage to have it saved. As for requesting it, you must go to the morph request channel in the main server. Here you have to send the morph commands alongside a screenshot that shows proof that you're part of the CDP. After you complete that, call a morpher and you're basically done.
Okay, so how about we take a look at the roleplay function. Now, in roleplay, our job is to portray ourselves through RP, acting and taking the role of our character, behaving how we're like in real life or show. Now, for that to work out, we must keep in mind the three main elements that we will discuss now. The three are as followed: out of character, in character, and roleplay action. We will start with out of character. Out of character is used when you want to be out of roleplay to talk to that person about something he did wrong, or asking a perm like puffing. However, we cannot abuse out of character by using it to avoid dying or taking advantage on someone. We will use those two to let the person know that we are out of character. Next is in character. During this process, you will most of the times be in roleplay where you act as a character. We use quota as a way to know that we're actually in roleplay, as we're sometimes required to do so and makes it seem more professional. Finally, we have the roleplay action. Basically, RP action is the action you do to someone or yourselves, whether it be physical, mentally, or emotions. Like when you punch someone, do a sad expression, moving your arms, etc., etc. But it's necessary to use the third person and explain it well in a good detail, as we cannot make it too short or basic. Otherwise, it would be unfair to the player if you don't specify it well with your RP action. For instance, using dodge a lot without explaining how you dodge it. It's also important to users to know that is an RP action. Let's see the two different examples. We will show you guys two separate videos of roleplay, one that is properly well while another is not. This way you can understand how to roleplay better. Let's start with the proper one. Once you saw that, we'll move on to the improper RP to let you know what not to do in RP. As you have watched the two videos, one of them follow RPM well and act professional without sounding goofy or unrealistic, while the other, they did not follow the RP elements. That's it.
Now, we move on to a D-Class duty. As D-Class personnel, your main task is to provide anyone roleplay. This includes interacting with personnel and NCP to entertain them. You're allowed to portray yourself as any personality you want, from being a psychopath, friendly, etc. In order to become a janitor or a chef, you must go to the job request channel. Once done, a non-commissioned officer will check it and uncheck it. After being accepted, you have to go to the D-Class job channel and select one of the job you choose and take job morph there. Boom, you're done. But it's only temporary, so job morph will only last one server startup, until you have to wait for a cooldown of 1 day. Finally, we have the connection roleplay log, which is used to log the knowledge you achieved in roleplay or items you got from anyone. It's to prevent metagaming, as your character doesn't know anything about the foundation, and to prove that the knowledge you got was from actual roleplay. Now, we have the D-Class units. Now, units are groups of people specialized with roles given. This means that each unit can have different tasks like janitor unit, chef unit, medic unit, and finally therp unit. We will start both the janitor and the chef unit now. Let's talk about the janitor unit and the chef unit. As said in their names, janitors are in charge of keeping the containment cell clean, as we do not want any Foundation janitor involved inside due to the danger risk toward the anomaly. In order to know who's in the janitor unit, the janitor unit uniform will have 2 stripes of yellow on their shoulder and pants to distinguish them. Next, we have the chef. As the name suggests, they are in charge of preparing the food for any inmates during cafeteria and responsible at feeding them. They have to follow schedule given by the chef lead in order to distinguish them. They have 2 stripes of white line on their shoulder and their pants. Let's move on to the medical unit. The medical assistants are in charge of treating any D-Class patient in making sure they're healthy and well stable. They also work alongside the medic as assistants by providing them tools and materials needed for the patient. To distinguish them, the uniform has 2 stripes of red line on their shoulder and pants. After all of that, let's talk about gang. Now, gang are a small faction that have different purpose in the world. When it is doing hostile activity or object they have to complete, Unfortunately, we won't be going all the gang as we only have a document to provide all necessary information.
Now, we have the experiment. A scientist will authorize you and give a brief of what to expect in test and later being sent to the SCP area where he instructs you on what to do inside. This is an example how it would look like.
SD personnel, please enter the containment chamber.
Every Friday on the farm is rabbit pie day. So every Friday that ever comes along, I get up early and sing this little song. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't give the farmer his fun, fun, fun. He'll get by without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
We have a scientific project which consists of projects that the scientific department hosts and gives you a goal in the project. It can range from having to explorations. The SCDHR must accept you in a project and you'll get a way better reward if you accomplish the things throughout the project.
Now, we move on to D-Class events. In several startups, correctional officers host 3 main events, which consist of cafeteria, inspection, and feeding process. Let's start with the cafeteria. Basically, the D classes will be taken to cafeteria and eat the food from there to provide them nutrients, as we do not want any D classes to starve to death. This is an example.
We have the inspection event, which is used to check on D classes for any contraband, as sometimes D class can hide weapons under their clothes and cells. This is an example.
Finally, we have the feeding process, which is used to send D classes to be fed to an SCP or for the SCP to be entertained by the D classes, as is protocol to keep the SCP contained and in a good state. This is an example.
Let's move on to the correctional officers. They're the prison guards within the CDC that take in charge of taking care of the D-classes and assisting them at all times, including dealing with hostile threats and sending them to the SCPs.
Now let's move on to the punishment system in both the game and Discord. Generally, we have a channel called Rules, where we state all of the rules you must follow in the server as well as in the game Noct, to ensure that no one abuses the system or posts inappropriate or illegal content. This helps keep the server friendly and clean. We also have an RP handbook that outlines the necessary rules to avoid abuse. Punishments can range from a warning to a blacklist depending on the severity of the action. If you see anyone breaking the rules in game, you must contact CDP-HC via DMs and provide the necessary proof. If you see someone breaking the rules in Discord, please DM a member of the CDP mod team. That's all.
That's all for today's program. Hopefully you folks have a wonderful time and a good luck with your new journey as a D-Class. Bye bye.